moving on here. We had two people facing charges in connection to Matthew Perry's death last year. Now, we're told they're going to appear in court September 4th. Jasmine Sanga, who's the one they call the ketamine queen, okay, charged in connection with his fatal drug overdose. One of his doctors, I think they call Dr. P, Salvador Valencia, also will appear in court. 2 of 5 people facing charges. Let's bring in Brian Claypool, a trial attorney, legal analyst. Hope your mail doesn't look like Laura Ingalls' mail, but you never know with your career, Brian. You might have some interesting mail as well. This Matthew Perry situation.
Please go ahead on that one.
Yeah, but exactly right. That's a lawyer. This Matthew Perry situation, this ketamine queen, these others. That your thoughts on how this is all going to play out? Tragic case.
Yeah, Connell, great to be back with you. Yeah, I think on the surface, everybody thinks that the ketamine queen should go to jail for life, that she's responsible for the death of Matthew Perry. I think she's clearly going to be convicted of conspiracy to distribute the ketamine. It's an illegal drug. You can only get it through a prescription by a doctor and injected by a doctor. But here, prosecutors are going for what's called conspiracy to distribute an illegal drug that causes the death of Matthew Perry. Why is that important? Because the autopsy report said it was an accidental drowning, right? It doesn't say that it was a homicide. So that's the first hurdle. And then the second hurdle is that lawyers for the ketamine queen are going to argue that really what the cause of his death was the personal assistant who injected several doses of ketamine that day and then left to run errands, leaving him to drown. So there are going to be some hurdles in terms of that second charge.
Okay. You know, it's just a tragic case for obvious reasons and for many reasons, but there's this story in the LA Times. If we have that LA Times story, we can bring it up about how they mocked Matthew Perry, supposedly, these people, and, you know, called him a moron and this kind of thing. You see at the top about, you know, his role in Friends as Chandler, said he was a moron. The quote, text messages with Chavez, who had experience with ketamine. This doctor, Valencia, wondered how much to charge Perry for the drug, writing in a text message, I wonder how this moron will pay. And quote, let's find out. But this was in the indictment, Brian.
Yeah, Connell, this is the kind of evidence that could lead to a conviction of basically murder for the ketamine queen. And she's going to turn into the federal penitentiary princess instead of the ketamine queen. I mean, this is just moronic behavior on the part of doctors, the ketamine queen, when you're mocking somebody. Why? Because that shows that you really are enabling his behavior. That's really what the jury's going to have to get to here. What did the conduct of the doctors who are prescribing it and the ketamine queen who's distributing it on the street, did that really cause his death? And look, when you have really explosive comments like that that are just completely indignant towards somebody who they know is addicted to ketamine, this could lead to a murder charge. And on top of that, Connell, we haven't even talked about the behavior of the ketamine queen after she was indicted. She was seen partying on Instagram in Mexico, and that's likely to come into evidence as well. And that's not going to do well for her defense in this case.
All right, Brian, thank you. Brian Claypool on that.